Hello, Pre-Algebra guys. This is Mrs. Trousdale teaching you guys math from the computer. So I hope this goes well. Hope you're enjoying time at home, getting a little bit of a break, a little bit of relaxing time, enjoying connection time. I've been praying for that for all of us, that we would have good connection time with the people that we get to be with, and find ways to connect with the people that we can't be with, and anyway, just enjoying the slower pace for a little bit. I'm thankful for that. It's a gift from God as we pray for people to be healed and not get sick at the same time. Well, let's start with kind of just a layout for the week, and then I'll tell you how we're going to kind of work this. Go ahead and watch these videos to help you with each section of our book that we're going to work on. We're going to attempt to finish chapter 7, but please don't stress about it. If there's some things that you're not understanding, rewatch the video over and over again, but we will also have review days before any exam when we get back, okay? So we are going to start in 7.5. This is discount and markup. You'll need to have your interactive notebook, so if you don't have that, go ahead and pause this video and go grab your interactive notebook. We'll do class pretty much like normal. I'll also go over some of the skills checks with you. I'm going to try to give you as many odd number problems as I can, so you have at least half of them at most to check. Don't forget the answers for the odd ones are in the back of the book. When we go over our homework, you'll need to show some of your work so that I know we didn't just copy the answers, of course, but if you have work shown, that'll count. That'll help give you a little bit of feedback, since we won't be able to be checking everything in the same way together. All right, so go ahead and start a new page in your interactive notebook. We're going to title this 7.5 and deal with my inability to write on this tablet here, okay? Sorry if it looks kind of funny. 7.5 is discount and markup. Don't forget to update your table of contents as well. All right. When you go to a store, you often will see something is a certain percentage off on sale. So let's say you went into the store and you were, of course, not going shopping right now, but let's say before you were going shopping and you wanted to buy something and you saw, oh, it's 20% off. Well, does that mean $20 off? Does it mean 20 cents off? No, it's at 20% of what that retail price was, right? The retail price is how much the merchant or the store is asking his customer to pay for whatever you're purchasing, okay? So if we have a discount, let's see, go ahead and put this in your notes. Anything we put on the screen, I want you to put in your notes, okay? Just like on the board. Our discount, the amount, this is going to be a dollar amount, is equal to the discount rate, that's a percent, oops, this is supposed to be an A, so this is a discount rate, it's a percent, but we will need it used as a decimal, okay? That's why it's important to be able to convert a percent to do a decimal. Okay. That says decimal, times the retail price. And again, that would be in dollars, of course. Okay, hopefully you can read some of that. So let's say, for example, you are purchasing, I don't know, what do you want to buy? Let's see. I'm used to being able to ask you guys these questions. Let's see, let's buy a tent for going out camping when the weather gets nicer. So here's our tent. There's the zipper. And there's a window in the tent. Alright, so pretend this is a tent. You have the strings kind of connecting it to the ground. There's your tent. You're going camping. You want to get a new one. And there's a sale flyer on here that says, hey, it's 20% off. Well, what we want to know is how much is that discount. We're going to need a little bit more information to start with. Let's say that it originally costs $95. So switch colors here. There's a tag on here that says it's $95 originally, okay? And of course we have this beautiful little sale over here that says it's 20% off. I suppose this should say off. If you're drawing this picture in your interactive notebook, make sure you put off also. Okay, so let's look at our formula. We have to find our discount. This is what we're looking for right here. And so our discount rate is going to be the amount off, for the percent, which is our 20%. And we will use it as a decimal and then multiply it by our retail price. And that will give us how much off, right? How much we're saving. All right, so let's say the discount is going to be equal to 20%. Well, 20% as a decimal, you should have this one memorized, is 0.2 times my retail price of $95. Don't worry so much about all your signs and dollar signs and percentages and things like that until the end. You just need to have your units at the end. Okay, so when you multiply 0.2 by 95, we're going to get $19. Okay, so if we have $19, is that how much it's going to cost? Do you think about that for a second? Is that how much it costs for that tent? No, that's a great deal if it were, but that's not our sale price. So that is just the discount. You're saving that much money, right? This is how much we are going to save here. All right, but if we want to find our actual sale price, what do we have to do? Well, it costs $95. You're going to save $19, so we'll subtract the two. Okay, I'm going to put this other formula. Again, there's one. Essentially, formulas are just steps to take in order to solve. We're going to say, and let me go back to that same color, the sale price, oops, this is how much you're actually going to spend on that tent or whatever item you're buying. It's going to be equal to the retail price. That's how much is on the original price tag, and subtract your discount. Now, you don't always know the discount until we solve for it like we did up here. Now you can use that discount. So let's plug in these numbers. Our sale price is going to be the original $95, subtract the 19, which should give us $76 for our sale price. That's how much it will cost at the register when you get there, okay? Now, that doesn't include tax and all those things like that. Okay, so this is an example that explains how to find the discount and the sale price. Make sure you have this in your notebook. I'm going to highlight here a little bit. Let's see if I can change my color. Thanks for bearing with me as I get used to this new little app here. This part here is really important, as is this formula here, okay? Make sure those are in your notes. This example is just so that we can walk through our formulas a little bit. But make sure that what's in yellow is clear on your interactive notebook. Maybe even put a little box around it. That's what is going to be true every time you're finding these things, okay? Okay, well, let's stick with our discount idea here, and let's say, what if I actually know how much it's going to cost me at the register, and I know how much it used to cost? Could I figure out the discount rate? Could I figure out what percentage off I am saving? Different times that will be an important piece of information that you might need. Okay, so we're going to use those same formulas, but we're going to use algebra and kind of plug in different pieces of information. So let's label this as example 1, even though we already did an example following along with our formulas. Let's say we have an item and its price tag. We'll draw, I don't know, what will this item be? We can just say it's a let's stick with the camping theme for summer. We could just say that we have some sort of a lantern here, and maybe it's a really fancy lantern. Now that I think about what I'm going to tell you it costs, this doesn't even look like a lantern, but pretend, okay? So here's shining some light out. All right, whatever you're buying, it's going to cost originally $45 even, okay? So $45 is what this item costs. And when you get up to the cash register, let's say you've paid for it, and here's your receipt, all the little things on your receipt, and they say, oh, actually, it's just going to be, again, there's always tax. We're not including that for right now. Let's say it just costs $32.85. You wonder, what is that discount on the receipt? Now, it will often tell you at the bottom of your receipt, it'll say discount or how much you saved. What percentage might I save? Okay, now we can figure this out. Remember, I'm asking for it as a percent. So if I'm asking as a percent, we've got to make sure we remember originally, if you see, let's see, go back here. Originally, our sale price, retail price and our discount are going to be important pieces of information, and we have our discount rate, and we used it as a decimal, and we'll have to convert it back into a percent in order to answer my question. Okay, all right, so back over here, we need to plug in a couple numbers. I'm looking for my colors that are the same. Okay, so let's say I have a discount rate. This is just that formula again, since I don't have it on this page. You have it in front of you. The discount rate times the retail price is equal to the discount. Well, I know that this piece of information here is what I'm missing. Oh, wrong one. Discount rate. I don't know the discount rate. I'm looking for that. And it will be given as a decimal, and we'll convert it to a percent. But if it's the piece of information that I don't know, I'm going to use it as a variable. Okay, so let's just call it x. Let x equal the discount rate as a decimal. Okay, now I'm going to be multiplying this by its retail price, which was right here. So $45. And that's going to be equal to the discount. Well, do I know the discount? No, not really, right? This piece of information here, a receipt, is how much it's going to cost, right? This is actually the sale price. So back here, if that's our sale price, I still need to take my retail price and subtract the discount. Well, I'm looking for the discount, so I'm going to need to do the opposite. Okay, instead of subtracting the discount from the retail price, I am going to find the difference between the retail price and this discount and say that in this sale price, and call it my discount. Okay, so I'm going to take $45 and subtract $32.85. Remember, you need to line up your decimals in order to subtract here. Okay, and this gives me 15 cents. Bring down my decimal, and what, $12. Okay, I had to borrow here. Come all the way over. All right. Oops, that should be a 9. Okay, $12.15 is my discount, and let's put this here in green. Remember, a discount dollar amount. There's a difference between the discount rate and a discount dollar amount. This right here is actually the rate. The vocabulary is really important because they seem really similar, okay? 12.15. All right, well, now we just have a basic algebra problem. If I'm multiplying something, go ahead and box your x. What's happening to it? Well, it's being multiplied. How would I undo it? Well, let's divide. That will give me x by itself. If you do it to one side, do it to the other. All right. This is going to cancel. And when you divide these out, you will get, now your dollar signs also cancel. That's really, okay, so, sorry. Phone call for my sick kid. Okay, here we go. So, if we divide, we're going to get 0.27, 27 hundredths. All right, is that my discount percent rate? No, it's not. It's my discount rate, but as a decimal, and I want it as a percent. So one last step would be to multiply this by 100 and add the percent sign. If you're unfamiliar or still not quite sure with conversions between fractions, decimals, and percents, remember to look back in your interactive notebook with a foldable that we glued in, flip open the right tab, and follow the steps. Okay, so we're going to move our decimal 2 places this way, and we have a discount rate of 27 Okay, discount rate of 20%. All right, it's your turn. Let's have you try one. Put this in your interactive notebook, please. I'm going to give you a retail price of $9. These are the skills check 1 in your book. If you'd like to follow along there, I'll put that up here. On page 289. All right, and the discount rate is 10%. All right, you're needing to find the discount and the sale price. This is just like our first example that went along with our formulas. Okay, so try that. And then your second you try, that's the first one, number 1. This is number 5 from our skills check. You're given the retail price of $50. Oops. And there's a discount. This is a dollar amount discount, not a discount rate. There's a difference, right? Remember the percentage versus a dollar sign of $12. This is like the last example we just did with that overly expensive lantern, okay? So go ahead and go back if you need to follow the steps of how we solved those. Try these on your own. So retail price and discount rate. Use that first formula. You're going to need to find the discount, dollar amount, and the sale price. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Again, following along in your skills check, you should see that information. This is number 5 from the skills check. So go ahead and pause your video right now. I want you to try these on your own, and we'll go over these in a second. All right, so for skills check 1, let's see, we're going over these. You have tried them on your own. We're going to take our retail price, and we're going to multiply it by 10%, $9, times, remember, multiplying it as a decimal, times 10%. Okay, that gives me a sale of 90 cents. And I'm not done yet. I guess this is my discount. That was your first answer. Your second answer was not what was your discount, but what was your sale price? How much are you going to pay? How much is your receipt going to say? Well, then let's just subtract how much I'm saving, right? $9, subtract 90 cents, gives you $8.10. Okay, skills check number 5. You had a retail price of $50 and a discount of $12. The first thing we're going to need to do is say, what's the difference here? What is actually the amount that I will be saving? Actually, no, this is a little different than our other example. You already have the discount. So in our example about the lantern, you had to subtract in order to find what the discount was. Well, in this case, we're already given that. Okay, so all you need to find is the discount rate. What percentage of the price is my discount? Okay, so let's set that up. If you want to do this as a proportion with our 100 on the bottom, you can definitely do that. I'm looking for my percent. 12 is part, 50 is whole. You can do it that way. This will give you the same result. Okay, but let's go ahead and do it the way we just did in our example. So we're going to have our discount rate. We don't know what we're looking for. Multiply that by a retail price. That's 50. Set it equal to 12. Divide both sides by 50 because x is being multiplied. We're going to divide. As you see, we end up doing the same thing down here, right? You're going to end up dividing 12 and 50, and then you will multiplying it by 100, and we're about to multiply it by 100 because we're going to get a decimal, and we want it to be a percent, okay? All right, so x is equal to 0.24, and now we want to multiply it by 100 in order to get it into a percent, so we get 24%. Okay, if you do it this way, you also get 24%. Oops, that is not an equal sign. Okay, how'd you do? Okay, last thing we need to do is talk about markup and markup rate. So discount means you save. Well, markup is probably not something we often see because it happens on the business end of things. So a markup is when, let's pretend now we're not the customer, but we are the business owner. If we purchase something, we need to sell it for more than we bought it for, or we're not going to make any money off of it, right? So let's write a couple vocabulary words in your interactive notebook. Okay, a markup. It's the amount, the dollar amount added by the merchant. Or the business owner, right? Whoever's selling it. Okay, and this has to be more. It's going to be added to the retail price. You don't just pay the markup. You pay the retail price and the markup. Okay, and the markup rate is our last vocabulary word for this section. We're almost done. Is the amount of markup on an item as a percent of its cost. So it's the amount of markup as a percent of its cost. Why would this be important? Think about that for a second. Why do we need to know it as a percent? Well, if you're adding $1 to if I'm selling something, I'm adding $1. Well, yeah, that's more. It's a markup, right? I'm not going to necessarily make a whole lot if I'm just adding $1, but we have to decide. If I add $1 to that $95 tint, I am not making enough money off of that tint in order to keep my business running. If I'm adding $1 to a 25-cent piece of candy, I might not be able to sell it. That's a huge percentage of the amount of its cost or of its retail price, okay? So it's really important for us to know the percentage right here so that we can acknowledge if it's an appropriate percentage to mark something up, okay? So let's try an example. Okay, here's example 2. Let's say that you are the business owner, okay, and you buy a shirt for $28. Here's your shirt. Okay, and there is a price tag on it when you purchased it for $28. Maybe you bought it in bulk and you're getting boxes to put in your storefront. That's supposed to be a 2. There we go. All right. So $28 is the cost, and then you know that you need to mark this up or you're not going to make enough money. And you're going to mark it up 25%. That way you make some sort of a profit off of it. So let's find how much is the retail price going to be. Let's label this as markup rate, right? It's a percentage, so we know that it's not just the markup. This is a dollar amount. It's a markup rate because I was given as a percent. So I'm going to need to find 2 things here then. I'm going to find what is the markup amount, how much money am I actually adding to it, and then what is the retail price? How much is the customer going to see on the price tag? Okay. All right. Well, let's start. Let's say that our markup. Actually, let's just put it here. Our markup is going to be equal to the markup rate. I'm going to abbreviate here. Times the cost. Well, this is how much it cost you. So we're going to say 0.25 times 28. Why can't I use this as a percent? Well, when I'm multiplying these two together, I'm going to have it as a dollar sign, and I don't have any other percent in there for it to cancel with. I don't know if that makes sense. So if we have our markup rate, it's a percent, we're going to need to calculate using a decimal. You want to go back and put that in your notes, because when we multiply something, If we multiply by a $sign and we divide it by a $sign, that $sign can cancel. If we are multiplying by some percentage and we have by a $sign here, we don't have any percent for it to cancel with. We're going to be left with a percent sign somewhere, and that's not what we want. We want it to just have a $sign for our answer. So what we need to do for our markup rate is make sure it's already a decimal. Okay, that's kind of the why behind that. But if you remember, just use it as a decimal every single time, you'll be good. Okay, when we multiply 0.25 by 28, we're going to get $7. Now remember, the markup amount needs to be a dollar amount. Is it a dollar amount? Yeah, good. Okay, so retail price. Well, the retail price, let's come back to our vocabulary here. We're going to add one more. Get rid of some of this. We have some space. Our retail price is probably what you would expect. In order to know how much your dollar amount on the tag on your shirt, whatever you're selling, for your customer, you're going to need to know how much it costs you as the business owner, plus the amount that you're going to mark it up. Not the percentage, plus the dollar amount that you are going to add. Okay, so retail price is the retail, let's see what it says here. Let's do the cost plus, now we just found the markup. So we're going to take that $28 again. We're going to use that a lot. Oops, 28. Now this is hard to write on, so thanks for bearing with me. Plus the $7. So what would we get? $35. This is my retail price. Okay, so when you put your own tag, you're going to say, hey, I don't want this tag. That's not what I want to charge my customer. That's what it cost me. You're going to put your own tag on it with your own little label, and it's now going to be a $35 shirt. Okay? All right, last example. Example 3. What if we want to say I have some cost and I know the retail price. I don't know what my markup is. All right. So you're going to buy, let's say, an example in our book is that you are buying a tie and you bought it for $15. Okay, that is your, that's your cost for you, right? Oops. Okay. And then you're going to sell it for $18. So if you sell it for $18, what is that? That's your retail price. Okay. Again, I think we all understand these concepts. It's just hard to know how to use it according to the vocabulary that we have. All right. So I need to find my markup and the markup rate. Well, the first thing is how much. This one's a dollar amount, and rate means some percentage, okay? And remember, we'll get it as a decimal, and then we'll need to make it into a percent. So it's pretty simple. You probably can do this part in your head here. I want to say how many dollars were added. How many dollars did I add before I sold it? Well, let's take 18, subtract 15, and I'll get $3. $3 is my markup amount. That's just a simple subtraction. Remember, if the cost plus the markup is equal to the retail price, and we know this is 15 plus X, this is what we don't know or what we just solved for right now, right over here, and the retail price was 18. Well, if here is X, remember, put a box around it. What's happening to X? It's being added, so let's subtract in order to get it by itself, right? And you would get 3. Okay, so in order to find the markup rate now, we need to solve this one more time and find what percentage is this $3 of the original cost. How much more is it, right? This markup rate is what we're adding to it in order to sell it so we can make a profit. Okay, so the markup rate, well, let's see, I don't know that that's going to fit here. 1 second. Okay, the markup rate times the cost is going to equal that markup. So let's plug in the information that we do have. Okay, and this is just that formula from before that we talked about. Let's see, markup rate right here. The markup dollars times equals the markup rate times the cost. Okay, so it's the same thing here. All right, we know that we're looking for the rate, and if we don't have that piece of information yet, that's our variable. Okay, and we're going to multiply it by the cost. Cost was 15. And it equals the markup, which is here, those $3. Okay, so let's box our x. What's happening to it? It's being multiplied. Let's undo multiplication with division. Okay, so this is going to cancel. And remember, when I get this x, it's my dollar signs also cancel on this side, which means I'm just left with some sort of a decimal, and I'm not going to be all the way done yet. I'm going to get 0.2, I guess. Okay, well, I'm not done because I want my markup rate as a percent. So I've got to figure out how to take this and turn it into a percent. Well, any decimal times 100, and then add the percent sign. Okay, so let's move it 2 places to the right. Remember, if it's getting bigger, you go to the right. From multiplying by 100, it needs to get bigger. Fill the hole in with a 0. I know I'm going quickly over that, but this should be very much review. So my markup rate is going to be 20%. And we're done. All right, why don't you try one? Okay. This is the skills check 2 on page 290. I'm going to put the 2 I want you to try here. Go ahead and pause the video, take however much time you need, and then we will go over them together. And the first one, your cost. Thanks for bearing with my inability to write on this thing. Okay, the cost is $25. That's how much the business owner purchased the amount for. And the markup rate is 20%. Okay, so that's a percentage. Remember, make sure you use that properly. Your second one, I'm sorry, you need to know what you're looking for, huh? If you're following along in the skill check, it tells you, but you need to find the markup and the retail price. So you're looking up for the dollar amount that you're adding. What's the markup? And what's the retail price? How much is it actually going to cost your customer? Oop, I can't write a different thing at the same time. Retail price. Okay. Number 2. We're actually going to do number 3 from the skills check, but it'll be our second one. You have a cost given to you of $20, and the retail price is $30. And you are looking for the markup again, and this time you're looking for the markup rate. How much did it go up as a percentage of its cost? Okay. Go ahead and pause this video and try these on your own. All right, how'd you do? Let's take a look at these together. In order to find my markup, I need to take my cost times my markup rate. Remember, this needs to be as a decimal, so I'm going to take 25 times 0.2. Your percentage, when you're going backwards, remember, just divide by 100 and remove the percent sign. Okay, and that's going to give me $5. That dollar amount is still left over, so it goes up $5. So what is the retail price going to be? If it was 25 and I'm going to add $5 to it, the retail price is 30. Okay, what about number 3? If I'm looking for my markup, I can't do it exactly in the same way that I did up here. It cost me 20 and I'm going to sell it for 30. So how much more did I add to the price? 30 minus 20 gives me $10. What percentage is 10 of that original price? Your markup rate is going to be your cost, the $20, multiplied by my markup rate. Let's use a dot here. My markup rate, this is what I don't know, right? The cost times the markup rate is equal to the markup in dollars, okay? And so we know that this is 10. We just figured that out. So now if I have my x here, I need to divide by $20 on each side. If it was being multiplied, divide it to figure out x by itself. All right. And that's going to give me 0.5. Is that my answer? No, that's as a decimal, and I need it as a percent, so multiply by 100. Again, if you want to set this up in a proportion with 100 underneath, just like we were doing with our word problems from 7.3, that's a great solution as well. This is going to give me a 50%, and that's a percentage and a decimal you should have memorized. But remember, if you don't just multiply by 100, add your percent sign. Okay, well, that is it for chapter 7.5. Go ahead and pause this for today. Your assignment for Tuesday is to try numbers 1 through 33 odd. You should be able to check those in the back of the book. 1 through 33, sorry. Okay, try 1 through 33 odd from section 7.5. And we'll see you on Wednesday for our commission and tip video.